Let's move on to everyone who did make the playoffs. Blake, Danny, and Brian. We're in the second round, and the first matchup of the day is Blake's OKC Thunder versus the Warriors. Again, it is the Steph Curry era. So Blake, what did you see during the playoffs that helped you get to this point, and how are you going to beat these Warriors?
Well, I think my moves in the offseason when we had our trade deadline, our 5 minutes to work, that was key for me. I was able to get a secondary.
And the player introductions are wrapped up. The starting fives for both teams, as we're just about ready to get this one started. Thanks for joining us here on 2K Sports for NBA basketball. I'm Kevin Harlan, joined by Greg Anthony and Richard Jefferson, with David Aldridge roaming the sideline. So the next starting five. Down on the block, it's Johnson with Claxton. Cam Thomas is out there with Slim, and it's Williams at the small forward position. And for Memphis, Morant is the point, with Bane out on the wing. Jackson is out there with Edey, and it's Williams at the three, the small forward. And early season action here tonight. RJ, you can see the bounce and the step of the players. They are refreshed, and they are ready to go.
Everyone's locked in. It's early in the season. There is a different type of energy to get off to a good start.
Here's Jackson Davis. Turned an outstanding game against Denver. Claxton trying to free himself up. Thomas, good.
Muscling it home, Cam finds a way on that offensive end.
And so Morant will bring it up for the Grizzlies. Outside Jackson. Shoots from 12. The rebound by Johnson. Here's Jackson Davis. Guarded by Morant. Back to Jackson Davis. On the wing, Williams. Clock at 6. Jackson Davis can't get it to go. Down low. The kick out to Williams. The Grizzlies with another miss. And here are the Nets. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Bane. And for a look at how the competition stacks up right now, here's the latest edition of the Power Rankings. They tell a great story. As you look at Memphis, they're gaining on some of the teams above them, trying hard to crack into that top 5.
And when I look at the Nets, they have just done a magnificent job of building chemistry. Higher on this list than many people expected. One of the great stories. Thus far. And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Williams attacking. It's Morant in the corner. The Grizzlies with another miss.
Oh, wow. Okay, we're going to start the game with 4 straight misses. Look, that's about as rough as it gets. It'll get going soon.
Now Jackson Davis fires the 3. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. And he's got his first free throw of the game.
And not the guy you want to see at the line too often. Season numbers has him in the bottom tier of the league.
He's off on the first. Greg, no one questions the Grizzlies' talent. The challenge has always been availability.
Yeah, whether it's been injuries or suspensions, it's hard to get into a rhythm when you're missing key players. But when they're all on the floor, Kevin, they can beat anyone.
It's the second from the line. You know, the hopes of a super team in Brooklyn did not come to fruition at all, Richard, and you saw it firsthand.
Thank you for reminding me of that, Kevin. Yes, I had a front row view to it. And look, from a fan's perspective, it's a tough take. The team brings in some of the biggest stars this league has ever seen. You are thinking championship, and you never got close.
Pass to Williams. Paxton with it. And he banks in the lane.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
Yeah, as soon as these guys feel contact, they are just disappearing like they're not even there. You got to show some fire and keep defending. They timed up the layup perfectly. The D saw it develop and got there to bother the shot.
For three, and he drops it in. Just a pretty release there from Slim.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from three. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
Now here's Morant. His last outing, 16 points for him.
That's just a bucket like you expect him to make. It's tough when you miss those.
Here's Jackson Davis. A three-pointer off the mark. The Grizzlies trail by 6. Here's Morant. And he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. Greg, with how explosive Ja Morant is, he has certainly taken his fair share of awkward falls.
And that's what worries you with guys like that. He's already had a number of injuries in his young career, but we all just want to see him at full health.
That's good from Morant. R.J. Morant has always had unquestionable talent. Now it's a question of, can he focus on his game?
And you hope he had his wake-up call. Still one of the most exciting players in the game. His burst and bounce, one of a kind.
And so he's able to get 1 of 2. And Look at the Grizzlies defense the last few years. RJ extremely disruptive.
Yeah, they've been top of the league in steals and blocks. That's just a part of the DNA in Memphis. It can be exhausting playing against guys like this.
And here we go. Brooklyn fast break. All sorts of time. And Desmond Bane pulls it down. And so it's Bane who brings up the ball for the Grizzlies. They trail by 7.
Nice work there to get up. Body, seal off his man, and collect the glass. That is textbook.
Jackson Davis with it. Williams picks him up. And Jackson Davis gets it to go. Jackson Davis has got 5.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Here's Morant. The Grizzlies with another miss.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Here's Thomas. The shot's good. Thomas got his second basket of the night.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
Passes it to Jackson. Bane for 3. It's hauled in by Claxton. Claxton's got 5 rebounds tonight. Here's Jackson Davis. He has 5. Bangs home the trifecta.
Defensively, they've got to pick up the intensity. Hard to win surrendering this high a field goal percentage.
So timeout called here. The first for Memphis. This game coming on the heels of their win against Chicago.
Well, it's easy to score when you're facing very little resistance. That's why their offense looks so good in that one.
It just seems like the defense wasn't interested. They got away with one.
Now at the break on the floor, you can see the teams that led the NBA in steals last year. The Grizzlies 4th.
You could tell by watching them how much they enjoyed playing defense. They seem to have an endless reserve of energy flying around and pressuring the basketball.
Now here's Morant. Outside, Bane gets the 3-pointer to fall.
One before to start the game. Looking to step it up.
And here are the Nets. They're on a 17-6 run. There's the triple. Jackson Davis can't get it to go. The Grizzlies trail by 11. Jacks up a 3. And again, it's the Grizzlies from deep.
This is why Bane is a volume 3-point shooter. It's because he is lethal from deep.
Here's Jackson Davis. Guarded by Morant. Thomas passes to Johnson. Here's Jackson Davis. And he can't answer back. The 3-pointer offline. Memphis has gotten just 2 of 6 to fall from 3-point range so far in the first. Back to Bane. And finished off by Morant.
And this is who Ja Morant is. He just doesn't quit really getting after it on the glass.
Here's Jackson Davis. Guarded by Morant. And Bane pulls it down. Bane's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Williams. Rebound, Brooklyn. Claxton's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Over to the left wing. Jackson Davis with it. 8 points for him. Drains it from beyond the arc. Jackson Davis has got 11 points.
Nice stroke from long range. And if he keeps getting those opportunities, he better take them.
Wasted no time on that one.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Back to Jackson Davis. Shoots over Morant. Count it from 12. And that's 13 points for Slim. The Grizzlies trail by 8. Bane looking around. Pass to Williams. Outside Jackson. Here's Heaney. And it's off from three-point range. And for Brooklyn, they're shooting at a nice 53% rate to start the game. They are sticking to the campaign.
Excellent all-around performance so far, hence the big lead.
They got off to such a hot start, and that can keep you energized throughout the whole game.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. Following some ups and downs, Richard, the Brooklyn Nets, and you know this, they're back in rebuild mode.
Yes, unfortunately they are, but fans shouldn't let the word rebuild discourage them. The Nets still have a ton of solid pieces, and it's just a question of making smart moves from here on out.
So Memphis ends up going with the new group.
Let's see some numbers here on Kennard, how he performed last season. Last season, he averaged 11 points a game, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds.
Out there on the floor for the Nets. Second quarter of play with around 2 minutes gone so far. Setting the floor for the Nets. Down on the block, it's Johnson with Claxton. Slim is out there with Cam Thomas. And it's Williams at the 3 spot. Shot clock at 6. And it's good with time running down on the shot clock. Williams has got 6 points.
They're taking it right into the teeth of the defense, and it's a defense that's starting to look frustrated.
That's the kind of aggression you want to see when you've got a team on the ropes.
Strong move to the 10, trying to get his guys going.
Hard not to get motivated, GA, right when your teammate makes that kind of play.
And that could be the spark they needed to make a little run as they try to even this thing up.
With a short break in the action, gives us a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge.
Kevin, thanks. Ja Morant was the first NBA guard in a quarter century to lead the league in points in the paint. He says, I can't just rely on dunking every single play, so I need different types of finishes to get my shot off, whether it's high off the glass, the reverse, or hanging in the air forever. And Kevin, he just says it so casually. Back to you.
I know it. But look, David, he doesn't do it casually, right? He is a one-man circus. Here's Jackson Davis. 80 with the rebound.
You can't look at the result of that shot. They'll take that whenever they get it.
Yeah, it's a great look for him. One they'll try and manufacture again. Those are the shots you want him to take.
And Claxton throws it down.
An agile play to get his hand in there and get the steal. Intelligent play to immediately start the break.
And Slim picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
First personal foul. First team foul.
Williams kicks to Morant. The pass to Jackson. Edey, great positioning on the putback.
And those second chance points really become almost like bonus points when you can get them.
Here's Jackson Davis. Guarded by Morant. Williams gets the bucket.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
The Grizzlies trail by 10. Morant outside. The 3. Williams can't hit.
You can't miss those, but even the best do on occasion.
Jackson Davis. Good. A nice assist for Williams. And that's 15 points for Slim. And so here's Memphis. Morant scanning the floor. Pass to Bane. from 13. And he tries off the glass, but it's no good. Nets leading by 12. Thomas finds Williams. On the wing, Johnson. Now Jackson Davis. 15 points in the game. Hits it from three-point range.
And this is the game plan for him. He's a big part of their floor spacing.
Yeah, you got to know where he is at all times, especially when he's roaming around the perimeter ready to fire.
He's cooled down a little bit after draining those 2 3-pointers in the first quarter.
And it's Williams throwing it down.
Well, part of their game plan was to block out the noise and just stay focused.
Oh, yeah, they're doing a terrific job not giving this hostile crowd anything to cheer about.
An emphatic LU jam.
The dime courtesy of Morant. I'd love to play with Ja. He's always looking to move that ball.
And there's the foul. It's on Cameron Johnson. That's his first foul.
Second team foul.
And so it's Memphis with it. 15-point game. Offensive rebound. Poked loose. Claxton with the steal.
And you've got to do a better job of making sure the defender isn't in your space. I mean, if you're going to pump fake, you've got to make sure he doesn't have a chance for the steal.
And a closer look here at the hustle stats for Brooklyn.
From the tip, they are not making things easy on them. Lots of steals, playing disruptive basketball.
And another thing they've done so well is convert fast break opportunities. Great job trusting their guys and getting those easy ones.
They can use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Claxton knocks it away. And that's out of bounds. Memphis will retain possession. Here's Morant. 7 points in the game.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Edey gets the bucket.
That scoreless first quarter, that might have woke him up, and he's turned it on here in the second.
Here's Jackson Davis. Guarded by Morant. And the slam dunk by Johnson.
Really seems like everyone in the league can elevate these days, and Johnson, well, he's no exception.
On the wing, Williams. From past the arc. The kick out to Bain. Rebound, Brooklyn. Claxton's got rebound number 12 here already in the game.
Well, his shooting is unfortunately not helping things. And his lackluster accuracy is probably the thing that's keeping them behind.
Connects from three-point range.
3 points.
Quality pass by Thomas. He was paying attention out there.
To the middle. Here's Edey. It's hauled in by Claxton. Claxton's got rebound number 13 for him here tonight. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Williams in the post. Working on Williams. Nice fake with the layup off the mark.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
This is why he's out there in situations like this. He stands tall to prevent points.
Not the biggest fan of that shot, but he had the space to get it off, so why not?
And he comes up with the deuce. Thomas got 4 points this quarter.
Oh, Thomas can be scary when he's getting points inside. That really rounds out his game.
Morant outside. Jackson from long range. Offensive rebound. Basket counts. Edey's got 8 points.
And he's doing everything he can offensively to lift them out of this hole. But I'm not sure his hot shooting can do it alone.
Here's Thomas. That one is good. He's only missed 1 shot of his 6 taken on the floor.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. It's an odd stat, but what I'm going to throw out there anyway. The Memphis Grizzlies set an NBA record last season for players used in a season.
Kevin, this isn't football, right? They had 33 different guys suited up last season. That tells you how difficult it was. Constant change, hard to build chemistry, and let's face it.
So it's Brooklyn riding high with a 23-point lead heading into the break. Their defense has
46. The Nets, 69.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. Slim having a dominant impact in this game.
What a welcome surprise that first half. Went above and beyond his usual scoring output.
And I like that they had the confidence in him to keep calling his number.
Morant is the point with Bane out on the wing. Jackson is out there with Vince Williams. And it's Edey in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the lineup in the game for Memphis. Here's Johnson. That one good for two. Johnson's got the first field goal the second half for the Nets.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flames.
Always plays hard until the final whistle, no matter what the situation is.
And a wide open look for Bane. No good on the triple.
He is single-handedly dropping the temperature in here with that cold streak.
Yeah, but right now, he's just in his own head. Not much you can do to try and push through it. Hard work pays off with a rebound and a bucket. That's just great fundamentals.
Morant passes to Williams. Here's Edey. Bane for three. Traps in the tray. Bane's got 13 points.
Quick thinking from Bane there. I like watching him rise up like this off the pass.
Here's Jackson Davis, and he gets it to go.
That's 3 of 4 here to start the half.
For Memphis, they've gone 1 of 3 since starting the second half. Morant outside. On the wing, Bane. Good, and the nice assist from Morant. Morant's got 5 assists in the game.
They've given up a lot of three-pointers here today.
Nets leading by 23. Here's Jackson Davis. The teardrop falls in. Jackson Davis has got 4 points now in the quarter.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Pass to Edey. The kick out to Bane. He can't get that one. Brooklyn's gotten the three-point bug tonight. They've taken 15 shots outside the arc. They're 6 of 15. Here's Thomas. Williams with the block. It's Morant in the corner. And again, it's the Grizzlies from deep.
Man, the triples keep falling, guys. That's 3 in a row.
Here's Jackson Davis. He's got 25. Williams gets the bucket.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Morant passes to Bane. A rebound by the Nets.
A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded.
And Claxton throws it down.
And watch out, you don't bring the whole basket down on top of you, young fella.
I don't think he ever wanted to let go of the rim. Pass to Edey. That's good. He's 5 for 9.
What a pass from Morant. He does a terrific job staying alert, seeking out the right opportunities to get his teammates involved.
Releases. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls. And that's now 27 points for Slim. Here's Edey. Pass to Bane. Again, Memphis.
Coming off a big game, his confidence couldn't be higher, and coach knows it.
When it ain't broke, leave it alone until someone stops him. Just let him roll.
Well, we've seen this a few times, Richard. Players getting booed at home, and that's got to be painful for a player.
You get taken back a little bit. For some players, it's deserved. but it's always a surprise. But you have to be self-aware. Did you deserve to get booed? In most cases, it's true.
The Nets have gone 8 of 10 shooting here in the second half. Very strong. Jackson Davis. The putback. Goes back up. And the rejection by Morant.
Bringing on D. Morant with the swat.
Great teamwork punctuated by a strong finish.
Yeah, that's nice execution, running with purpose and creating an easy scoring opportunity off the break.
Now the pass to Claxton. Outside Williams. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Akedi picks one up.
You know, I love how he absorbs the foul and still had a chance to knock that one down.
Now let's take a moment to get your guys' take on the scoring so far for the Nets.
I like how they've been attacking the lane. It's been beautiful. All game long, they've been successful penetrating and getting offensive production.
And also, guys, they've been showing how dangerous they are in the open floor. When they see a chance to get easy points, boy, they just jump at it.
Jackson Davis with it. He's got 29 points. Here's Claxton. And the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
And here's Morant. 10 points for him. And Morant throws it down.
He gets a lot of defensive attention, but Morant, he can expect this type of rough scene anytime he takes it inside.
Now Jackson Davis. Left side Williams from outside the arc. Count that as his 7th field goal, 9 tries. He's shooting 78%.
He is getting everything he wants. The defense is seemingly powerless to slow him down. It's sad.
Payne for 3. Rebounded by the Nets.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Oh my goodness, the slam!
And guys, that's not as easy as he made it look. You've got to have some skills to pull that off.
Well, he's got plenty of those, that's for sure. And that's life above the rim. Courtesy of our AT&T 5G Slam Cam.
And he's been a force on the glass all game long.
It's because he's reading where the shots are going and getting to the right position, just outworking everyone early on the glass.
Johnson, the pass to Williams. Pass to Slim. And there's the whistle. 3-second violation. Santi Aldama's checked in for the Grizzlies. And the Nets also making a change. Russell's checked in. Memphis has gone 3 of 7 from three-point range here in quarter number 3. Over in the corner, Williams. And again, Memphis no good. Brandon Clark, he's checked in for Vince Williams. Slim, he's checked in for Brooklyn. Brooklyn leading by 23. And Brooklyn looking who they've got. Down on the block, it's Johnson with Claxton. Cam Thomas is out there with Slim, and it's Williams at small forward.
And even though he lacks the size of some of the other bigs, that extra effort has allowed him to do some serious work here on the
Ooh, what a slam!
Oh my!
What a slam!
Gracious.
Flat out hustle wins Thomas a successful fast break.
And Aldama has it in the corner. Offline with his 3. Brooklyn's gone ice cold from three-point land, 0 of 4 since the start of the final quarter. Another one falls for Brooklyn.
And that's a nice possession. Did a good job to get that open shot.
It's Morant with the drive. They grab their own miss. Clark. Good D by Williams. And so it's Williams who brings it up for Brooklyn. Here's Jackson Davis. Inside. Johnson can't get it to go.
And the activity he's shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
Yeah, you can see why he's established that reputation. Strong understanding of how to defend at the rim.
And every miss finds its way to his hands. Well, what an impressive performance.
You aren't exaggerating. You don't get to 20 rebounds without having a special talent for grabbing misses.
Thomas passes to Williams. That's tipped. Here's Morant. And then Morant slams it in.
And man, does Morant put on a show. He's got such insane athleticism.
Here's Jackson Davis. Guarded by Morant. It's Thomas on the wing. With some arc, in it goes for the 8th time in 10 tries.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Here's Morant. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's on Nick Claxton.
In an era where so many point guards are three-point shooters, Ja Morant, you know what? This man is built different. He's more of a throwback. Ja wants to apply pressure by driving, not shooting threes.
Grizzlies making a switch here. Stevens is checked in. The NBA has always been a star-driven league, Greg, and that's reflected in team strategies now more than ever before.
It is. All over the league, teams now building their systems around their stars, surrounding them with complementary players and running the offense through them as much as possible.
The assist, Cameron Johnson.
Memphis has gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc since the final quarter's gotten underway. Here's Clark. Good D by Williams. Brooklyn's gone ice cold from three-point land, 0 of 4 since the start of the final quarter. Here's Jackson Davis, guarded by Morant. They get it again. Kicks it out to Johnson. And rebounds again.
Collecting yet another board.
He's been everywhere, just sensational.
How frustrating for the defense. You get the stop, but then fail to block out.
And you can see them just deflate after giving up that score. And they know that they can't dig themselves out of this hole if they're allowing second chance points. Ooh, he's on a bit of a heater now. He hasn't missed one this quarter yet.
Grizzlies have gone 5 of 12 from the field entering the fourth quarter. To the paint. And Jackson throws it down hard.
The more time Jackson spends at the rim, the better. His length is a deciding factor in this game.
Up top, Jackson Davis, guarded by Morant. Jackson Davis can't get it to go. The Grizzlies have gone 6 of 13, so just about 46% on their field goal attempts here in the quarter. Morant dishes to Clark. That one wide left. Brooklyn in control. Jackson Davis with it, over Jackson. Jackson Davis can't get it to go. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Here's Payne. Excellent D there by Johnson. And for the Nets, their shooting in the fourth quarter has looked shabby, 38%. Morant against Williams. With a step back, and the rebound goes to the Grizzlies. Jackson's got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. Morant passes to Jackson. Good, and a nice assist from Morant. Morant's got assist number 11 for him here tonight. They are in complete control.
This is the ultimate definition of the zone. Everything they've done has worked.
Williams kicks to Johnson. And it seems a new era is upon us, GA. A lot of young stars and young teams vying for the status of household names.
Kevin, the casual fans might have to update their frame of reference, right? Especially since a lot of these new stars are playing in smaller markets.
Payne for three. It's hauled in by Claxton.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Thomas passes to Slim. From the arc. Sinks the triple. Jackson Davis has got 34 points.
And that kind of defense will cut it against most shooters from that range, but he's not most shooters.
Kicks it to Clark. So nice passing there by Memphis. No one covered. Payne's got 16 here in the second half.
Boy, they've been terrific from beyond here in the second.
To the inside. Here's Williams. Down it drops through the net for his 9th bucket. He is 9 for 13 so far.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
That's a great possession. Put your best players in a position to succeed.
Knocks it loose and stolen by Thomas. Over Morant, and it's Brooklyn scoring again.
Dangerous in the mid-range. Thomas isn't uncomfortable with that shot.
Remaining in the game. 2 minutes.
Morant outside, and it's a defensive 3-second violation. Well, you talk about Cam Thomas. RJ, he's one of the most explosive scorers I know in the NBA.
Well, after Kyrie and KD got traded out of Brooklyn, Thomas went off, putting together a streak of 3 straight 40-point games.
Plays with some changes. Santi Aldamas checked in for Jaren Jackson. And Pippen subbed in for Ja Morant. Trendon Watford's checked in for Brooklyn. Slim comes in for Cameron Thomas. And that one falls for Clark. RJ, what have you noticed about the young players that enter the NBA today?
Unfortunately, the NBA is now tasked with teaching players how to play basketball. The NBA wasn't a teaching league 20 years ago. Now it is. A lot of players are spending their first, second, and even third year learning how to play basketball. That was not always the case. They used to go to college and play for Hall of Fame coaches for 4 years.
Another shot. Pippen with the wide open look. And another miss by Memphis.
That is not a guy you want to allow open looks from range. Lucky for the defense, he just couldn't get it to go.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Nets.
They simply ran him off the court.
They set the pace, and their transition game was executed flawlessly.
And during the long NBA season, each contest important here tonight. Tonight's win will give them 4 on the season.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Nick Claxton.
Honestly, I just love how relentless he is on the glass, making a big effort to pull the ball in and give his teammates extra chances.
Down low, here's Clark. Takes it off the glass.
You got to know, this is Clark's skill set at this stage of his career. He takes quality shots when he's inside.
Brooklyn in control. Well, this one is winding down now. Brooklyn can watch the clock run out. Johnson, the pass to Slim. Launches it. And it falls.
Saw the opportunity to put this away and did not turn it down.
And that score probably slams the door for any would-be comebacks. And look, they put this one to bed.
We hope to see you again at the next event.
And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
And that about wraps it up. And so for Richard Jefferson, Greg Anthony, and our reporter David Aldridge, I'm Kevin Harlan. Thank you for tuning in to watch.